Hello there YouTube, it's your boy B3, back with another kicking and manga review. Today we're looking at Kaiju number 8, Volume 3, story and art by Naoya Matsumoto. Yes, I'm really enjoying Kaiju number 8. It's a shonen manga, but the protagonist is like in his 30s and struggling to keep up with all the kids that are the age and level that shonen protagonists would normally be. But he's given the abilities of a kaiju, not a daikaiju, except maybe yes a daikaiju. Daikaiju means giant, strange beast, but in the world of Kaiju number 8, daikaiju seems to more mean extremely powerful, strange beast. But Kaiju number 8 shows up. He has to turn into Kaiju number 8 at the end of the last book to save some of his teammates. And Kaiju number 9, who's this kind of mushroomy-looking kaiju, is there. And he and 8 fight. 8 kind of starts kicking ass, but since 9 is a mushroom type, he can regenerate pretty heavily. Pretty heavily. But also, 9 is a bit stronger than is led on, because he's kind of holding back, and he's like, oh man, next time I can't do that holding back shit. we can't do that. But it's a really cool fight. But then also Captain Hoshina shows up. Or, I guess, Vice Captain Hoshina. The actual captain isn't in the field. Vice Captain Hoshina shows up to fight Kaiju number 8. You know, they have these suits that augment their human abilities, but the suits aren't automatic augmentations. I actually really like these suits. 1, in design, they're really cool. But 2, they can't augment you unless you've already put into work to become fitter, to become more agile, and then the suit amplifies what you already have. So if you're not already someone who has worked to be strong, the suit isn't gonna do much for you, which is incredibly interesting. I like how it's not just something they can slap on and kill every kaiju. It goes in tandem with their training and their physical abilities, and it boosts the specific things about them. And he ends up having to unleash 92% of the combat power that this suit gives him. He fights Kaiju number 8, and he gets this weird feeling, like he doesn't feel like he's fighting a kaiju. Because he's not. He's fighting one of his soldiers, his lowest ranked soldier, because he joined this kaiju hunting force. Much older than everybody else, much less experienced. And there's a part in the fight where Kaiju number 8 has the chance to kill the vice captain. And instead of doing that, he destroys his weapon. And that throws the vice captain for a friggin' loop. But, you know, Kaiju number 8 goes back into his human form. And he's really beat up. Really beat up. And there are like 2 teenagers on the force, one that trained under him when they were kaiju corpse removal people, which is so cool. I'd read a manga just about that. I know there's a movie about it, but I haven't seen it yet. And then one who's like a prodigy, and he ended up saving her when a kaiju that was too big for her current expertise came up, because she's a prodigy, but she doesn't have a lot of experience. And he kind of humbled her in a way, putting her on course for a pretty big character arc, it seems. But yeah, the captain is actually the childhood best friend of our main character, Kafka? I'm having some trouble here. But she is like, all kaiju gotta go. All kaiju gotta fucking go. Kafka's trying to earn her trust back, but he also kind of doesn't trust her to not slaughter him if he's revealed to be the kaiju. It's kind of a very interesting dynamic. Anyhow, there is a bit of a classified operation going on because they figure out that kaiju Number 9 can disguise himself as a human. And he does that by taking people's bodies very freakishly. So he takes a new body to be able to hide from the Kaiju Slayers so that he can, you know, kind of get back into the murdering game. But in the hospital, they almost reveal Kafka's secret identity. But luckily, their friend is as dumb as he is trusting. And there's a big party at the end where they welcome back the ones who were injured and in the hospital. It's very cool. And they have like a 6th grade Japanese black Wagyu beef marbled cut course, which doesn't exist. That's not a grade of beef that exists. Oh well. Oh well. Very fun. But we get to see a lot of fun banter and stuff. Or banter. Oh, excuse me, I said. Sorry. A little gunky. Just a little gunky. And there's some drinking by some of the older members. But then the vice captain comes in. And he wants to make an announcement about Kafka. He says, quote, "Your findings during the operation have gone on record for substantially mitigating potential damage. So you're getting promoted to General Officer. We informally made the decision today. We'll formally set you up at a later date. But once again, welcome to the Defense Force 3rd Division Officer." End quote. And he deserves this. He's finally the same rank as his peers. This is wonderful. Because it wasn't given to him because of his accomplishments as Kaiju number 8. They don't know he's Kaiju number 8. They think Kaiju number 8 is the enemy. They gave it to him because of his accomplishments in human form. His knowledge about Kaiju biology and behavior is unmatched by any of his brothers and sisters in arms. His years of cleaning up Kaiju corpses lets him know exactly what kind of hits can take a Kaiju down, because he can see those hits on every corpse. He's literally inside them. He knows the biology. He knows what can and can't dissolve certain types of Kaiju's flesh, because he has to do that to get it off the street. It's fascinating. He, of course, has an interaction with his captain, who is his high school friend. He accidentally addresses her informally and is forced to do like push-ups and stuff, which is funny. And he sees his captain training, mimicking the battle that he had with Kaiju number 8, which of course puts Kafka on edge. But then we see the descent. 8,000 meters above Tachikawa Base. Something's coming. All these flying Kaiju. And there's this wonderful page with like Kaiju coming down like meteorites. Kafka has his back turned to it and he's walking away and he's happy. And then, crack-hoom, they strike like meteors into the city. It's an aerial raid with Hanju-class threat Kaiju. They're normally Kaiju that are very territorial and won't work together or share. And the only way they can be brought together is if they have a super powerful leader forcing them to work together. And this leader appears to be maybe a Kaiju number 10. It's another talking Kaiju. And he's looking for the strongest, because he only wants the strongest prey. He's got this big kind of bony tail, and he's armored, and he has a big horn right in the center of his head with some slit eyes. But the slit eye is actually like a toothy mouth that opens up to reveal a big freaky eyeball. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And he defeats the captain, which is, or the vice captain. Sorry, I keep doing that. Defeats the vice captain, which is a big deal. Luckily, Kafka knows a lot about these Kaiju and helps people take it down with the biology. It's really great. I'm actually very happy about this. So Shinomiya gets this new prototype weapon. It's a giant axe. It's really cool. Very manga. And she is just leveling these flying kaiju with it. Just really kicking serious ass. She's getting stuff before anyone else because she's a prodigy. And it's just like a big time emergency. They've barely had time to rest. But, as I said, this new kaiju is kind of beating the vice captain. But the vice captain is able to actually take a hit from him after unleashing 92% combat power. And that's where everything ends. If you would like to read up at the back of the book, I normally do that first. I forgot to do it this time. With the highest kaiju emergence rates in the world, Japan is no stranger to attack by deadly monsters. Enter the Japan Defense Force, a military organization tasked with the neutralization of kaiju. Kafka Habino, a kaiju corpse cleanup man, has always dreamed of joining the force. But when he gets another shot at achieving his childhood dream, he undergoes an unexpected transformation. How can he fight kaiju? How did he become one himself? Kafka manages to fight off a humanoid kaiju, rescuing Ihara and Reno, but before he can change back to his human form, Kafka is spotted by the Defense Force officers and the neutralization unit, led by none other than Vice Captain. Hoshihina himself is dispatched to dispose of him. Can Kafka withstand his superior officer's attacks without revealing his true identity? The answer is yes. Rated T for Teen from Viz Media and Shonen Jump. Really good book. I got it for about $10 at the Kinokuniya Japanese bookstore. I frequent there decently, not too often, but I always like to... I'm trying to read more physical books. I know I read a lot of digital comics just because I read so many. Sometimes I'll read like a trade a day. I'm dead serious. I'm a big comic junkie. So right now it's mostly American, or I guess Western, comics on the app. And then manga I've mostly been reading physically. Pretty good. I still have to review the Super Sentai manga. There, I just got the next volume of Kaiju number 8 and Go-Go Loser Ranger, and I still got a bunch of Kamen Rider Kuga. I haven't even started Kamen Rider Kuga review-wise. This is not good. I am behind, but I also want to do like Devilman and all kinds of other stuff too. So that is it. Thank you all very much for your support. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. Check out all the cool links in the description below. Facebook, Twitter, etc. as an I'll see you all next time. Bye for now.